Good morning, everyone. Let's get started with our great song, Rise Up. Mother, Father, Spirit, and all of us, we are thankful. We are thankful for this beautiful, beautiful time of the year. And we are thankful for 70 degrees.
Amen.
We are thankful for our community here by the ocean. Surely one of the most beautiful places in the whole wide world. We ask your blessing on those in distant lands. Fill them with your light. Bring peace to the world, dear God. Spirit of ours. Be with us throughout this service and throughout this special, special week. Amen.
Amen.
All right, and let's continue with the Lord's Prayer. I love this translation. I just love it. From the Aramaic, Jesus' real language. Father, Mother, Birther, and breath of all, create a space inside of us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then flows through ours as energy fills all form. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment, and untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Do not let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. From age to age, through you flow the glorious harmonies of life. May these words be fertile statements through which our future grows. Amen, amen, and amen.
Now, continuing on, we will put together our Unity Myrtle Beach vision statement. Centered in the Spirit, we embrace the world as one through love, peace, joy, and abundance. And our mission statement. As a welcoming doorway, we foster peace, teach and encourage an awareness of spirit within, and inspire a way of life that serves all. Thank you. Isn't that cute? Those teddy bears. Thank you to everyone who works hard to make this a reality, what we have here at Unity Myrtle Beach. And especially our musicians, we love them, and especially everyone, but I'd like to say a special welcome back to Kevin Dunn. I'm Cynthia Swanson, proud member of Unity for many years. Just can't believe how time goes on. I'll call up our ushers at this time to pass around our duo pins, which our fave Tom Jones donated because he knows every cloud has a silver lining. This is not our regular offering. We just ask for change as spare dollars to help those in our community who might need it from time to time. And what will we sing, Dave?
Everything I need.
Are we standing?
Yeah.
All right, let's stand. Everything we need.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to behold about what lies before me. Everything I need to behold about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me. There's the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be strong about what lies before me. Everything I need to be strong about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me. Is the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me. To the mind of God within 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 me.
Please be seated. Now, this is a special time of the year for more than one reason, and we have a special date in our church. Before we call the children up, I'd like to call our minister, Reverend Margaret, to come forward. And there's a little presentation. There's a little presentation that needs to be made, so Sarah and others, if you'll come forward. And I think we have, is it the birthday song to sing?
Oh, all the December birthdays.
We're going to sing to you, Margaret. Accept it, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
My colors, thank you. So the quilting ladies are Ann and Sarah and Marty and
Couple of friends.
Thank you. The quilting ladies, y'all, they're so wonderful. And quilts have been given to some of our folks in hospital and when they're recovering, people in hospice. Thank you. I love these colors. I was just thinking this morning we needed a new bedspread. I can't believe you worked so quickly. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna. Thank you. Yay! Now, at the end of the service today, we want to do all the December birthdays because I think this church is full of Sagittarius people. Yeah. Okay, so we would love to see the children up here. Actually, I think I took your microphone, didn't I? There you go. We have two. Is this the one on the inspired setting? Elijah, it's up to us, darling. We not have any of the yoga babies here with us today? Okay. What would we do without you, Elijah? And Javier. I passed Javier on the highway this morning about 10 till 9. You were on your way to a yoga class, I bet. And then he comes here to work with our kids of Unity to do yoga once a month. Forward-thinking schools in the country right now who are teaching yoga and meditation for a lot of good reasons. Decrease stress and anxiety, increase peace. That's what we're about. So, I would like, Elijah, for you to help me with a couple of things. We're going to light our candles today for Advent. I better hold on to the torch, though. Okay? But if you'll hold on to the microphone, and if you will, talking now into the remote. When I light the candles, it's tell them what the candle's being lighted for, okay? Okay, so this is about the journey of Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus had not been born yet, and so they're on their way to Bethlehem for one of the biggest birthday celebrations of the whole world. Because when Jesus was born, there was a consciousness brought to the earth that the rest of us have been given the mandate, grow into this consciousness, right? Yeah. So along the journey, we need some special qualities. So you say the quality that I'm lighting the candle for, okay? Hold the mic close. Okay, so we're lighting the first candle. The first Sunday we lit the candle for hope. You let them know that.
We're lighting the candle for hope.
And now we're lighting the candle for peace.
We're lighting the candle for peace.
This is the candle for love.
The big candle is the candle for love.
And today we light this candle for joy.
And finally, we're lighting the candle for joy. And on Sunday, we light the final candle for the Christ child.
So we lit the candle today for joy. So what are some of the ways that we bring joy into the world? What do you think?
We tell people that we're thankful for them.
Say that again.
We tell people that we're thankful for them.
We tell people that we're thankful for them. So turn to somebody and say, I'm thankful you're here today. So, just like we share the joy receiving that quilt. I can't tell you, I'm covered with joy. God, I really am. And when I stand here next to you and realize that you're going to have my job one day, I feel the joy. So there's another thing that's happening besides yoga for today. And before we do our blessing, walk over here with me because we want to introduce somebody very wonderful to our congregation. Elijah, this is Reverend Mary Ann Finch. And Reverend Mary Ann Finch started this church way back in 1986 here in Myrtle Beach. Did you know that? So she's our founding mother. She's a pretty special lady. Joy got spread in the world is when Reverend Mary Ann, many years ago, thought it'd be a great idea to start a Unity Church in Charleston and then to start a Unity Church here in Myrtle Beach. So look how she opened up joy in our lives. If she hadn't have done that, you and I might not have ever met. Truly. So that's a joyful thing to remember, isn't it? Yeah. And there's a couple of other joyful things happening. Miss Nadine, would you come up? Miss Sarah, would you come back up? Because these two wonderful folks were a part of our Unity Basics class, but couldn't be here on the Sunday that we recognize new voting members. So, would you hold this again, please? We are going to take this on the road. So, we are so happy to welcome Miss Nadine Holliday as a voting member of Unity. And we're so happy to welcome Sarah Raphael as a new voting member. Is now not here today, but she is also a new voting member. And a few Sundays ago, we welcomed 10 new voting members. So today, you make the magic number 12. So thank you so much for saying yes. Please take one of these roses with you as you go back to your seat. So why are voting members important? Because there's a lot of wonderful decisions and shifts and changes afoot. And our voting members help to create and bless and take this community forward in healthy, creative, powerful ways. So thank you for wanting to be a part of that. Yeah, thank you. Now, we want to bless you because you're representing the children of the world. Oh, look, he's getting his blessing hands ready. For those of you who don't know, Elijah not only does yoga, he also does Reiki. So when he is receiving your blessing, he's giving blessing back to you. So we send our blessings how?
Through our eyes, our hearts, our words, and our minds.
So here we go. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you, and we love you exactly the way you are. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Y'all have a good time. What? A joy he is. And I'm not kidding, I'm already asking him to fill out an application. We're going to send him to ministerial school. Okay, so we want to welcome everybody, especially newcomers. This is your first time here, and we'd love to know your name and where you're visiting from. Next door.
My name is Lonnie Busman, and I'm new to Pawleys Island from North Myrtle Beach.
So, prayer chaplains are helping to do that, along with me and a few others, and Lonnie, and 3 other threshold singers, which includes Patty Knapp. If you remember last year, the threshold singers blessed us so much at Candlelight, so they'll be back with us for Wednesday night. Now, any other first-time visitors? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Mark, visiting here from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Unity of Fort Lauderdale. Unity of Fort Lauderdale. Is that Reverend Tita?
No,
No.
it's a search committee now.
Oh, it's a search committee. Okay, anybody want to go to Fort Lauderdale? Okay, but that's the church, right?
Yeah, Unity of Fort Lauderdale.
That's the church where, when David and I went there to speak several years ago, y'all had just had a hurricane down there, and we got to pick up avocados off of your church grounds. We brought home 2 huge bags of avocados.
Hurricane's a blessing.
I know.
Who knew?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and we're just moving here. And we are from Asheville, Landrum, and we were with Unity in Mills River.
Wonderful. Pat O'Shea, who's now living in the other realm.
Yes, he is.
Yes, I bet he calls in lots of trouble too. Okay, anybody else? First time visitor? Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
She's not shy.
No, I'm not shy, never have been. My name's Becky Arbuckle, and I'm here visiting Dara Lynn. I'm here from Houston. I'm actually making a big circle. I visited some relatives in Georgia, and then I came here to Myrtle Beach, and my daughter and her 4 children live in Charlotte with their husbands.
Okay.
Whatever his name is. And then I'm going to Kentucky, and then to Missouri, and then I'll go back to Houston.
All right. So if anybody needs a ride,
You're going any of those places?
anybody else, any first-time visitors, or anybody who hasn't been here in a while, want us to know that you're here. Okay. And Connie is Reverend Mary Ann's daughter, so we're Okay, so after service, you're welcome to go down the fellowship hall, have some sweets and coffee, and for those who want to do Connect the Dots, we come back up here for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we continue the conversation about the Sunday topic. So that's what we do there. Then, meditation now is happening twice on Wednesdays. Everybody say twice on Wednesdays. Some of us felt like we needed a little more quiet time and meditation time. So on Wednesdays before the book group, 12 to 12:30, we're here in the prayer chapel doing our meditation. And then again on Wednesday nights, 5:30 to 6:15. Okay? Then our new book for the Wednesday book group has begun. Who Dies by Stephen Levine, and the subtitle is An Investigation of Conscious Living and Conscious Dying. We started December 7th, and I think we're on the page 4. Because we have the most wonderful, rich conversation and insights and awareness. It's the best thing happening, but it's our little secret. Okay, and then we start this class January 24th. Resilience from the Heart, Greg Braden's book, subtitled The Power to Thrive in Life's Extremes. How many of you think maybe there's some extremes going on in the world? So we start that January 24th. The book is in the bookstore. 100 by 100. Thank you so much to everybody who's been sending in your $100 additional donations over and above your regular tithes and offerings. This helps us know how we are going into the new year with healthy green energy surrounding us. Our 2 giving trees. This one's for Family Justice Center back here. Thank you for all the donations that have come in. Back here is Help for Kids. Darylyn, anything to say on this?
Just two things, and most of it has to do with assistance, getting all of this over to Help for Kids.
Here, let me bring you the talking stick.
Hi, I wanted to thank everybody first for contributing and for the outpouring on love and care. We donated at least 30 gifts to the Help for Kids and other areas. We have gifts downstairs still in the activities room that we need to go to Helping Hands, as well as assistance with this, because believe it or not, I took a whole bunch over on Saturday. So if you do any assistance, we appreciate it. And if you could go as far as Georgetown to help out too, because I can't take but so much. And I'll give you all the address to help out with the Georgetown drop also sometime this week. Thank you so much.
Okay, so anybody wants to help deliver, this one's going to Georgetown Family Justice, and these are going out, where are they? Carolina Forest Help for Kids?
Yes.
Okay.
The address is on the...
Somebody even brought in a bike. Y'all remember, just take a moment, take a deep breath. Do you remember your first bike? Do you remember how magical it was?
I just wanted to, Stephen, come up here. Stephen is a photographer, professional photographer, and he has offered his photography services for one day this week. We'll have to figure out what do you think the best day might be this week. He would like to offer his services for anybody who wants a Christmas photo to come into the church. He's going to set up his equipment here on one day this week, and anybody who wants to come in to have their photograph taken professionally as a Christmas photo is welcome to do so.
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, let's coordinate it with Miss Charlene. Okay? Perfect, thank you. And will they be airbrushed and make us look? I remember when I saw my photo for the gala program, I thought, who is that? Okay, and Bunny's 4th Annual Holiday Open House. You have little slips of paper in your seats. So that is a wonderful event every year. So that's happening this Tuesday. Now, the holiday schedule. So Wednesday night, the 21st, 6 to 7 is our candle lighting. It's going to be very sacred, very sweet, and very beautiful. So that's 6 to 7. If you are so guided and inspired, holiday potluck snacks are welcome. We'll be laying out sweets to share together after the candlelight service. We will be here Sunday, December 25th. Someone asked me, are we going to have church on Christmas Day? And I said, that's kind of the point. That's the one day that we actually want to come together. So Sunday, December 25th. We start the day with Holy Communion with Leston's Christmas biscuits and toppings, and service is at 11 a.m. Sunday the 1st, is our Burning Bowl service and our Whitestone ceremony, and Dr. Nikki Golden will be here with us for that. It's going to be wonderful. And that's it for now. Did I forget anything? Yes, ma'am.
Socials planning meeting today.
Socials planning meeting today.
At Abuelo's.
At where?
Abuelo's restaurant.
Abuelo's. See Christy for those details. And they're doing a lot of fun things, so thank you, Christy. Okay, that's it for now.
All right. Let's start our third song. Shall we stand or sit, David?
Let's sit.
Sit, okay. Please, everyone, join me.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world
will hear from our daily word, Unity's oldest publication. In the vernacular, I love me some daily word. And today, our word matches our candle, and that is joy. Please say together the affirmation. I am joyous, and I share my joy with others. Smiles, laughter, sharing time with friends and family, these are all experiences and expressions of joy. Being joyful is not caused by the outer experiences of my life. Rather, it is the outflow of my inner nature. Joy is an attitude that I bring to life. When I pray, I get in tune with the harmony of my inner self. This place of perfect synchronicity is where joy flows, unbound and unlimited, bubbling up as smiles and laughter, confidence and courage. Whatever my day brings, I have the ability to approach it with a spirit of happiness and peace. Even in the most challenging situation, I have the option and the capacity to respond with a lightness of heart, opening the way for humor and acceptance. I am joyously alive. And the scripture is Psalm 16, verse 11. You show me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. And together, the affirmation again. I am joyous, and I share my joy with others. All right, and now we'll have our meditation song. But first of all, I want to ask Reverend Mary Ann, were the first meetings at the JC Hut in Myrtle Beach?
Were the
first meetings
at the JC Hut in Myrtle Beach? I think so.
I think so. I was there. Okay, and now we'll have the magic. Oh, we have our meditation song, which is My Beloved. We'll stay seated.
Come away, my beloved. Sit with me for a while.
take a few deep, holy breaths. And imagine being called by Spirit into a journey that will awaken your heart, open your mind, and help you to remember that you are the light of the world. Imagine that you're called to this journey. It will take you through the well-lighted mountaintop places and will take you sometimes through the shadowy valley places. You're called to this journey. And surrounding us is heavenly encouragement, heavenly support, love being beamed at us from every aspect of the universe. We are so loved and adored. Imagine right now that the earth itself is the manger and the Christ is being born. Imagine that there is one presence and one power in the world, love. And imagine that the journey we've all been called to is the journey of love and awakening. Imagine right now that in this manger called earth, that the calling goes beyond all religions, all beliefs, all ideas of right and wrongdoing. Our calling is from a place that takes us beyond all national borders and politics, economic turndowns and upturns. This calling takes us through the mountaintops and the valleys. We're given everything we need for the journey. We're being attended to by the Most High Presence, the Most High Consciousness, known by many names in this world. Today we call this Most High Consciousness the Christ. Awakening within each one of us. And imagine for our journey that someone comes to you and gives you a message that you most need to hear when the valleys seem too long and the shadows seem too dark. Imagine this letter has been written to you. It was actually written on Christmas Eve in the year 1513. Some of you will be here to hear it at candlelight. I want us to all hear it today. Written by Father Giovanni Giacomo. To you and me. I salute you. I am your friend. And my love for you goes deep. There is nothing I can give you which you have not, but there is much, very much, that while I cannot give it, you can take. No heaven can come to us unless our hearts find rest in heaven today. Take heaven. No peace lies in the future which is not hidden in this present little instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within our reach, is joy. There is radiance and glory, even in the darkness, could we but see it. And to see, we have only to look. I beseech you now, look. Life is so generous a giver, but we, judging its gifts by their covering, cast them away as ugly or heavy or hard. Remove the covering and you will find beneath it a living splendor, woven of love by wisdom with power. Welcome it, grasp it, and you touch the angel's hand that brings it to you. Everything we call a trial, a sorrow, or a duty, believe me, that angel's hand is there. The gift is there, and the wonder of a beautiful presence. Your joys, too, be not content with them as joys. They, too, conceal even more divine gifts. Life is so full of meaning and purpose, so full of beauty beneath its covering, that you will find earth but cloaks your heaven. Courage, then, to claim it. That is all. And courage you have, and the knowledge that we are all pilgrims together, winding through unknown country home. So we take a deep breath into this idea that the earth is our manger and we are saying yes to the Christ being born in us. Imagine around us is heavenly help and support coming to us in many forms and many ways. And right now, in this healing energy, I invite each one of us to say the names of people or events that we are holding in prayer right now. Susan Bolt and family, Kelly Payne and family. All world leaders, all nations, villages, communities, all people meeting in mosques and synagogues, and temples, cathedrals, small circles of people praying, singing, dancing, drumming. Small groups of people, huge groups of people gathering to ask, what is it now that we need to bring into the world for the transformation of our world? Where does my calling take me now? So we breathe into that question as we continue to ponder this idea of the Christ consciousness being born in us. We take another deep breath, and we say, so it is, and so we let it be. Namaste. Maria, as you turn up the lights, would you kick the temperature arrow up? I think we've gotten it cool enough in here. Anybody cool enough? Yeah. Welcome to Costa Rica. Okay, so here we are, talking about resilience and transformation. Are the lights all the way up? Oh, thank you. So we're here to talk about resilience and transformation. How many of us feel resilient in our hearts and our minds and our lives are resilient? We snap back, right? Snap back. Do we have a choice, Charlene said? Yes. We actually do have a choice. Have you ever felt like giving up? Ever felt like quitting? Yeah, so welcome to the world of awakening, when we're so self-attuned, self-aware, we begin to notice that we have patterns. Well, I do. I have several. And in some of the patterns that we have, sometimes we just want to quit. We want to unplug from the world. We want to get under the covers maybe and pull the covers up. I don't have a great quilt. we all want to remove ourselves from the world from time to time and just stop listening to the madness. But while we're under the covers, that voice follows us there. The voice that calls us to be a part of the world that we have chosen to be in at this time. The voice never goes away. The inner urging to be the light of the world, whatever that does look like for you, it doesn't look the same for all of us. But the calling is there for everybody. I learned the scripture, many are called and a few are chosen. But when I learned another translation, possibly a more accurate translation, many are called and a few choose. So let's think about that. I feel that we're all called. And then we all choose at different times in our lives. And we might even add different times of our lifetimes. We choose, as the end of our Lord's Prayer translation says, the awakening is now. You might have had this experience. I'm being called to wake up, and I say, can we reset the alarm? Can we hit the snooze button? This feels too hard. Okay, let's see what else is up here. So Wednesday night we had a great meditation, and we meditated on this idea, and I think it was Lauren that posted it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond our ideas of right doing and wrong doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there, and that's the part most of us know, but it goes on. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make sense anymore. Rumi knew about resilience and transformation. He knew that the world would bring us sorrows. He knew that there would be great debates on right and wrong, heaven and hell, who was going there and who wasn't. He knew that there were going to be wars and rumors of wars. He knew that there was going to be hard struggles to deal with. And he said, you're going to need to discover this field that's out beyond right doing and wrong doing. If we're going to make it through, we have to visit this field often. Also known as love, also known as silence, also known as the kingdom of heaven within. We need to be visiting that place often. And you always want to hit the right button. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So, Greg Braden, we're in his book, The Power to Thrive in Life's Extremes. We start that class in January. He asked this important question: is it possible to live each day in a resilient frame of mind? Thank you. That's a great question. Is it possible to open to the reality of extremes like world economies, global politics, global weather changes, ecological crises, food and water shortages for many parts of the world? So we look at what's happening in the world. Can we stay open, resilient? Can we keep our hearts and minds open to what we're called to do? Now, some of these issues seem remote and far away. But I tell you, driving to church this morning, it seems so surreal. The sun is out, people are in their shorts and t-shirts, people are happily shopping, and in Aleppo, people are running for their lives. It's like we live in, shall I say it? Sure. It feels like insanity. So I take a deep breath. Because I live in a surreal world, I think, am I in a reality TV show? Is somebody filming this? This is nuts that we human beings keep doing this stuff to each other. So let's take a deep breath. There are many groups in the world that are a part of this idea that with our consciousness we're transforming the world. And sometimes those giants, those spiritual giants, this room is full, all of you spiritual giants. Sometimes we get tired and we want to go take a giant's nap. But I'm just going to say to all of us, don't go to sleep. This is the part you don't want to miss. So how do we stay resilient? So let me tell you how one group is doing it. Resilience, transformation, the ability to shift and change when the necessity is upon us to shift and change. In Mudiyambo, Ethiopia, these people for generations have been raising cattle. That was their livelihood. But do you know what happens when you raise cattle? The land is completely stripped of vegetation eventually. And so they have to move on to another piece of land. And then that's stripped of vegetation. It's one of the issues in our world because people like to have cattle. But with the drought, they could no longer raise cattle. They were starving. And so a group came in and said, would you like to learn how to grow your own food? Would you like to learn how to doctor the soil and make it healthier and grow your own food and make money even doing that? And they said, no, we don't think so. That's what they said at first. We've always done it this way. This is what we've always done. This is what we know. And they said, well, guess what? Your land isn't going to support you anymore. The cattle are dying. You need to figure out something else. And so, one by one, and I have to say, it was the women who did it first.
Of course.
And now they are a group of people who are thriving, growing their own food, selling the food, sending their children to school. They're experiencing abundance. Why? Because they said yes to the calling to keep moving forward, be flexible, change is upon us. Right?
Right.
Okay, so, Stephen Levine, I love this quote. You're going to hear it every Sunday of December. Do not get beached in the ordinary mind. Have you ever felt beached in the ordinary mind? The ordinary mind says, this is the way we've always done it. The ordinary mind says, there's nothing else we can do. This is all we know to do. The ordinary mind says it's going to cost too much to do it another way. The ordinary mind says it doesn't matter if it's going to damage the water and the soil and the air. We're going to do it because we have our bottom line to take care of. That's ordinary mind. But Stephen Levine says you have to be meta-rational to keep your reason, to open your ordinary mind to the experience of your extraordinary heart. And that's where innovation happens. That's where we move forward in our calling to things we never even thought of before. So here's a cool thing that's happening. Who posted this? One of you. A teenager from Malawi, William Kamwamba, taught himself how to build a windmill out of junk and bring power to his village. Now, who has done that lately? He then went on to build a second, larger windmill to power irrigation pumps. He did this all from books he read in the library. Now, when David and I went to Colorado Springs last year, we went to that tiny house jubilee. We just love those little tiny houses. And there was even a fellow who had his tiny windmill that he pulled with him when he moved his tiny house from place to place. It was like this tall. It was a little tiny windmill. And I thought, how clever. This even beats that. His whole village now is able to benefit from this young man's idea that he could do this. How many of us have been called to do something? We think, we can't do that. We don't know how. He didn't know how to do this. I just love these stories. Keep posting them on Facebook because that's where I get my best stuff. I mean, really, the good news stories of our innovativeness and our brilliance, the solutions are already among us. So, the changing question. The question used to be, what do I need to do to get what I need to take care of myself and my family? What do I need to do to get what I need to retire? What do I need to do to build up my 401k? Remember those?
Yep.
And what do I need to do to make sure that I'm okay? And those are good questions. But when we wake up and when transformation is upon us, the question changes. And it changes to something like this. What can I give to, share with, contribute to the world that is emerging? So let's all take a deep breath on this. How many of us have said lately, I just want to go back to the way it was? Somebody turn to that neighbor who's been saying that and tell them it's never going to go back to the way it was. That's the secret that we got to get real about. It's not going to go back. We're going forward. It's a spiral. It goes up. It never goes back. The spiral of consciousness and transformation is ever moving forward. Now and up. So, this is the question. What can I do? How can I show up? What can I contribute? I may not know how to build windmills, but I know how to teach somebody to read so they can figure it out. I may not know how to feed thousands of people, but I know how to write a check, or I know how to send heirloom seeds to the people who need them for their seed banks.
And worms.
And worms, we know how to do worms. What can I give to or share with or contribute to the world that is emerging? Because here's the deal. We really, really, really want to be visioning and imagining the world that's unfolding and emerging. And we really want to be careful. Can you get me a cup of water in my office? I got it. Okay. Excuse me. What I can give to the world is a cup of water. Oh, sometimes a cup of water is all we need. So this is the question that we're living with right now. And we're living with this question as a church. You know, people who want to donate money or donate land, the possibilities, the opportunities. What do we want to be doing as a church, knowing that the world isn't going to go back to the way it was, something else is emerging, and what is our part? What is our calling? So I want you to see this quote again too. Somebody asked me, please put that quote up again. It's a quote I had never read by Charles Fillmore until just a few weeks ago. The true church is not made of creeds and forms. I'll take a deep breath on that. A lot of us were raised in churches of creeds and forms, right? That's not the church. The church is not made of creeds and forms, nor is it contained in walls of wood and stone. We might build a new church, but that's not going to be the church. The heart of humankind is its temple, and the Spirit of truth is the one guide into all truth.